Hey everyone, welcome to the Brass Tap in Vineland, New Jersey. Gary Monterosa here with my sidekick. I call her sidekick because she kicks me in the side every chance she can. Ms. Alexis
I'm a
Degan.
terrible person.
No, you're not a horrible person. You're a sweetheart.
Aw.
Executive Director of the New Jersey Brewers Association, and things are always happening with that company, with that
Heck yeah.
organization.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Well, it helps.
the
We have a
things
lot
that
of
you're doing.
breweries, so they're always doing something, and then we try to match that energy.
Well, I will throw kudos your way because you are the idea person. You come up with some really cool things.
I have a lot of help. I have a lot of great sounding boards, so it helps.
Well, I'm optimistic for what's going to be going on in the state of New Jersey the rest of 2020.
So am I, absolutely.
That sounds like fun. So thanks for joining us again.
Thanks for having me.
Brass Tap in Vineland, New Jersey. 60 tap handles.
Such a great bar here.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's
Really
not
supportive of
something
craft.
that you normally would expect to see in Vineland, quite frankly.
No.
We don't have anything like this. In fact, much of South Jersey doesn't have.
But that,
Too many
that's,
places
again,
like
I think
this.
reflective of the changing market and
Yeah.
the fact that we have such a strong, craft beer presence now. There
True.
are so many craft breweries around that I think the retail market is picking that up. They want
Mm-hmm.
to take advantage of that, and we're happy to see that. Places like the Brass Tap that are carrying 60
Correct.
craft handles and are carrying a lot of New Jersey great craft beer.
We love that. We
We
want to
absolutely
support
do.
our breweries.
Yes, indeed.
And it's a good thing.
Brass Tap gets it, and then all the other places around here, they see the success here, they're going to replicate that, and I love
Beautiful.
that sort of thing.
And we got a friend seated to my right.
Yes,
The second
we do.
time we've had her on the show. We're
Yes,
so
it
happy to have her because of a very special beer that is being released really as we speak
Yes.
over the next several weeks, in fact. Laurel A. Baker, got to get the A in there, all right?
It's very important.
From Forgotten Boardwalk, and
Yes.
this is a company that, I'll tell you, I don't know how long you guys have been open. How long have you been open?
We'll have our 6-year anniversary in the fall.
Can't believe it's been that long, but
Yeah.
I see so many things that are going on with the company, including the release of some really unique flavors.
Yes, yeah, we have a lot of things going on. One is sitting in front of everybody, but that was a 34 brewery collaboration, so we can't
Let's
forget
get
that,
right
but,
into that because I sneaked in here last night. I want you to know that
Did you?
because I wanted to try some of this beer.
I could have dropped some.
Oh no, it's fine.
No, but we appreciate, supporting the local retailers,
Yeah.
I
too.
had to do that. So tell us about it. You guys are both welcome to jump in, but tell us what this beer is and the genesis behind it and who was all involved.
Yeah.
Oh, the list is very long and vast. Alexis
That's
will
good.
probably have a little better of a gauge on that. But for March, which is Women's History Month, the NJBA decided to get together with Jamie, who's the president of the Brewers Association, who's the CEO of Forgotten Boardwalk. And it's the second year in a row that we did a women's brew. And we ended up hosting 34 breweries. There was over 100 people at our facility at the beginning of February to brew a Belgian triple called the Strongest Woman on Earth.
And it's curious, as I walked in here about an hour prior to this, I saw a person seated up at the bar, and I said, that beer looks familiar, what you're drinking. And she said I had to order it in part based on the name.
Yeah.
So it's a great name.
It's a
great
brilliant
book.
name. It's a brilliant name. The artwork on the back of the can is amazing. All the breweries that came by and were collaborators on the brew are also on the back of the can when you can find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the T-shirt that the New Jersey Brewers Association is
T-shirt that
selling,
Alexis
which
is
I am just, showing off here today.
Yeah, so if you guys
Oh.
go to our Facebook page or the website for the NJBA, you'll be able to go ahead and grab your own T-shirt.
Strongest Woman T-shirt.
We're going to do now. This is the second year for this.
Yes, yeah.
Was it the same recipe last year?
No, it was a completely different brew last year.
What was it last year?
So last year it was a lavender blood orange session. It was developed by a woman. The recipe was developed by a woman named Sonia, who was working at Zigmeister.
Okay.
And we did a 2-barrel. It was a little bit slapdash because I'm the ideas person, but I'm not always the execution person. So like on February 12th, I was like, oh, we should do something for Women's Brew Day in March. So we cobbled together, Sonia put this great recipe, talking together, talking about flavors we wanted to see. We brewed it in March of last year, like 13 breweries, about 30 women. And then the success of that really caused us to want to ramp it up. So Jamie was like, I think we can really bring this to a commercial level, do a 60 barrel, take another look at, what we're doing.
And give the NJBA a better, platform to stand on in regards of, their members, and give other members that may not have enough, traction or we're just opening, is a really cool platform for them to jump onto.
So you guys did 60 barrels?
Yes, we did 60 barrels. So myself I do sales from Central Jersey down to Cape May, and then Seth does 195 up to North Jersey. And between the two of us, we were able to cover pretty much every point in the state of New Jersey to get cans and or draft somewhere. So,
excuse me, but I have to give it to both Seth and Laurel, because today is we call it the retail launch of Strongest Woman. We're having events all over the state that feature the strongest woman on earth, but are also featuring beers made by the breweries that participated.
Yeah.
So because of the quirks of New Jersey state law, you can't retail this out of another brewery, because it has to be retailed out of the brewery that brewed it. But, going to places like, we're here at the Brass Tap, going to Chickies and Pete's later today, or the Sterling Hotel at the end of the month. Yeah. We're having these events celebrating women in the industry by having that beer from, breweries that are driven by women, whether they're the brewer, whether they're the owner, whether they're the tasting room manager.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, most breweries, if not all of them, have a woman somewhere in the realm of their company.
That's true.
Yeah, and at a critical point, right? We always talk about beer and brewing, but, there are so many other parts of making a brewery successful that women often run as well. So, if you've got a brewery that wouldn't exist without a woman, we want to celebrate that.
I think it's I absolutely think it's fantastic. And again, getting back to the brew that you created this year, it's one thing to make the beer, and thank goodness it's tasty. It's very tasty.
It's very tasty. It's very smooth drinking for a 9% Belgian.
It's dangerous.
Well, that's true, but it's a really, really well-crafted beer. But to see the support, it's heartwarming to see the support that you got from so many different people.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the press that you got.
Oh.
Yeah, we worked very hard with Alexis and the press throughout the state to make sure everyone was sort of in the loop on what was happening and where the beer was going and the events that are occurring throughout the month. We do have several events up and down the state that are occurring, so we're trying to make sure everyone knows about all of them, the Brass Tap included. And then following this interview, Alexis and I are driving to Marlton to go to another event for this beer. But all of these events are, like we said, including breweries that were participating in this collaboration. So they're sort of New Jersey Brewers Association tap takeovers, which is very, very cool. So we are able to bring some people from North Jersey that don't have an extensive leg down here to be at the Brass Tap or at the Telford Inn at the end of the month or at the Cinder Bar. And then up in North Jersey, we're bringing, breweries from down here up north to some of those tap takeovers up there in Morristown at Hops or the Sterling Hotel.
What we can say, by the way, since you guys are going to be traveling a little bit later on this evening to another stop, what we can say is that I'm the only one drinking beer with alcohol in it tonight.
Correct.
You guys
you're absolutely
this
accurate.
is not
this is
alcoholic beer.
just juice with
No,
some
but
water.
you know what? No, we know we're drinking
Laurel is anyway.
responsibly.
Right.
We're drinking slowly. We're really savoring the flavors, and we are, this is the only beer I'm having here tonight.
And, you really describe the craft beer scenario in a nutshell, drinking it for the flavor.
Yes.
And that's kind of what separates, I think, the people who are so into craft beers as opposed to, and I'm not putting down the macros because they're doing a hell of a
Oh,
job.
they're doing a great job.
Doing
And there
a
is
great
an
job.
art. We talk about this lately with a lot of folks I've been talking to. There is an art to the consistency that you find in those macro beers.
Yeah.
You are right.
And it is, we have to give that sort of artistry credit as well. When you open a Coors Light, it doesn't matter where you are in the country or the world. It doesn't matter what time of day, what batch it was from. It tastes reliably the same.
Consistency is very difficult.
It's
That
really
is so
difficult.
true. That's a valid point. I'm glad you mentioned that. And I gained so much respect. You guys probably know this story, but I did spend some time with some of the AB brewers
Yes.
years ago. And I got to try some of their experimental batches, which ended up tasting nothing like what was eventually released. But
I don't think
these
they ever
guys, these guys and
That's true in
gals
craft as well.
are extremely talented. They're really good brewers.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I applaud them. I gained a whole new respect for them. I really did.
Yeah.
It's a very exciting industry to be in.
It is.
certainly is.
And
Have you-
again,
Good.
I was
Go,
going to
go.
say, being able to tell this story of the women that are driving the industry and to see how many people are so enthusiastic about telling that story and hearing that story and being a participant in that. When you talk about the press, it was so easy. It was just like, oh, hey, this is a thing
Was
that's
it?
happening. And the
Yeah.
press was like, oh, I want in on that.
Cool. That's
Because-
good to hear.
yeah.
Wow. What I want to ask you now, the company's been open, Forgotten Boardwalk, 6 years you said?
It'll be 6 years in the fall. Yes.
Have you been with them since day one or no?
No, I haven't. I've been with them for a couple of years now.
A couple of years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it started, I was just a regular that drank there, like everyone else sort of drinks beer. They have their local breweries. And then I was sending them, I was taking photos and sort of just tagging them in them on social
Right.
media. And then I it sort of escalated from there as, their social media content creator, and then I was actually creating all of the content, and then I took over all of the media and helping them with events, and then now I do sales because I have a very thorough sales background.
And I'll give it to her. She does a lot of the. If you've noticed the NJBA's social media looking finer in the last couple of days, it's Laurel.
I've been
She's donating some of her time to us too, and I really
the marketing committee of the NJBA.
Okay, I want to wrap this segment up by saying if people want to try this particular beer, the
this
strongest
particular
woman
beer
on Earth. We want to go to either your website, which is
njbeer.org.
beer.org,
Really,
and or
Forgotten Boardwalks.
Forgotten Boardwalk.
Yeah. So if you go to our social media page, you can pull up the beer finder just through the direct, and you have a whole list. You can also subscribe to our emails. We've been sending out lists of the places that are having it. I know Seth's been controlling the Reddit threads of where we're dropping all the beer. But keeping an eye on the events if that's something that you're looking for, if you want to see all the other breweries that are coming out to also support this beer, because this beer will obviously be on tap with a bunch of other people. And so our website would be a good toggle for that.
If you're watching online, we'll see you. But if you're with us on Channel 22, we're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back with more of these two lovely ladies. And we're back with part 2 of What's on Tap. This is Gary Monterosso at the Brass Tap in Vineland, New Jersey, which last year, 2019, was recognized by USA Today as one of the best new beer bars in the nation. So congratulations to them. And by the way, there are Brass Tap locations really throughout much of the southern U.S. coming up as far north here as Jersey.
No idea. Learn something new every day.
Several. I think it's maybe the farthest north.
Really?
Oh, we're very lucky to have them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So lucky to have them. I know there were rumors about some other locations in the Delaware Valley, but we'll leave them at that, just rumors.
Rumors are very healthy.
And I started all the rumors, by the way.
Gary's just trying to get more brass taps around.
That's right.
Because they have such a great tap list, and who doesn't want to share this wealth?
That is the thing, exactly.
Yeah.
60 handles,
Love it.
many of which are devoted to regional breweries.
Yeah.
Obviously, we love New Jersey breweries,
Heck
but
yeah.
we support everything from the region. First of all, you're going to get a fresh product, too.
Oh, absolutely. And
That's
you
so
can
critical.
often just talk to the people who made it. If you like it, head on over.
As, you know, we're doing that today.
We are.
We're doing that today. We're talking with
Absolutely.
a principal from Forgotten Boardwalk
Yeah.
Brewery in Cherry Hill.
Oh, I'm changing my business card to principal.
But do it the principal.
The principal.
This
Hyphen
is
pal.
Ms. Laurel A. Baker. It's so happy to see you again. It's always
It's a pleasure.
for
Thank
me.
you. Yeah.
And congratulations on all the good things that you guys are doing over there, you, Jamie, and everyone else at the company.
It's been very hectic, but we are very, very
I'm
excited.
sure it is, but the products you're putting out are just phenomenal. I'm blown away. Every time I try something new, I think, how can it get any better than this?
Great,
It really
great.
is. And now we get the line of seltzer. You got your seltzer,
Yes.
which is an award winner. We talked about that the last time we had you on the show in the studio.
We did. That was the first time you had an alcoholic seltzer.
It's first time I had. You're right.
Yes.
I've had several since
I was
then.
very
Right.
excited to do that for you.
But nothing has quite reached the level of what you guys are doing.
No. I mean, it's always up to somebody's palate, but we enjoy having it in a 16-ounce can, which is our way of saying that is the adult seltzer
Yes.
for the adult seltzer drinker.
Ask you a question
Sure.
on that. You're welcome to chime in on this as well. When we see the big boys meaning the Boston beers, the Miller Coors, et al., When they throw millions and millions of dollars behind hard seltzer, it tells me it's got legs. What do you think? Do
I
you
think it
it's
means they
gonna
have some
last?
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some. You mean Jamie's not going to?
I mean, to that point though, you know, it's a great product. It's light, it's accessible,
And that's reaching a certain audience.
it's reaching a certain audience, and you know, it's a great summer drink.
I think the difference is ours is that it doesn't stick to your palate.
Right.
It's still very, very refreshing, and you can have a couple of them. They're not going to inhibit your palate taste for the cheeseburger that you ordered or the steak that you want to drink or eat. And because it's crisp.
Right.
It's crisp. It's very clean. We meticulously worked on the recipe and ingredient list over the last couple of years, and we very much wanted to perfect it in a very certain way before we put it out to the
Whose
market.
concept was it to do that?
Well, the owner is Jamie is very much a seltzer drinker, just in general. So we have the brewers they just carb water for her kegerator at home. You know, a very avid seltzer drinker, also very earth conscious, putting it into a keg instead of buying bottles or cans to bring home. Yeah, and then it ended up turning into this big concept. She was at a concert and had one of the commercial seltzers and decided that it was, something within her power to try to maybe accomplish at her facility.
Right.
And it turns out she did very well with it. We won an award for it last year out in Denver for the Tangerine Rosé, and we have the Peach Lemonade. A couple weeks ago, we had a tropical flavor that was up as a quick trial, and it was a very quick trial.
Yeah, so quick, I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, the kegs cooked very, very quickly.
I had never even known that there was, in fact, a seltzer festival taking place.
Yeah, they're slowly popping. Well, I say slowly, but popping up here and there over.
We're seeing more and more now.
The area of the country, yes.
Well, as the trend catches on, and again, the same with craft beer. Craft seltzer is you get to see these fun flavors. You get to see this experimentation with different flavor combinations.
Yeah.
You go to Forgotten Boardwalk, and what you get from Forgotten Boardwalk is going to be completely different from what you get from a White Claw. It's going to be completely different from what you get from another craft brewery.
Yeah.
You see in New Jersey, with Forgotten Boardwalk leading the way, but more and more you're seeing these craft seltzers popping up at breweries across the state, and you're going to see, those same flavor profiles that are reflective of that brewery are coming into their craft seltzer, and it's fantastic.
No, we're very excited. We were very excited to open the door for everybody, and if somebody wanted to dabble in it, we were the first.
Yes.
We were the moonwalkers, unless you're a green screen believer. So otherwise, it still exists. Just go to your liquor store. It's for sure there.
I talk to brewers occasionally, and once in a while I say, "You guys go put out a hard seltzer." And invariably, if I'm speaking with a brewer, I'll get a little chuckle. And then, we are. It's like they don't want to really admit it.
Right. Oh, but it's happening.
It's a very different thing for them, yes.
Right. It's okay to do that if you want. If I can backtrack just a little bit, I believe going to our immediate area, there are at least 2 seltzer festivals going to be taking place.
Yes.
Philly is one, I think, in the spring, and I think, isn't John Henderson doing one?
John Henderson is working on
doing
something.
one,
It's the end of July, I want to say.
I believe so,
Fizz Fest is an
That's
early
it.
name for it. I don't know if that's what's sticking, but I know he is working on that. Again, capturing that, wave of seltzer that's going across the craft beer world. And why not? There's chasing the market and there's listening to the market.
Yeah.
And I think that our craft breweries and our craft, and here's the other thing. Our craft distilleries can take advantage of this too, because there's 2 types of hard seltzer. So, listening to the market, understanding that there is a big, market for craft seltzer. Yeah. And again, you know how I love to talk about gateway beers.
Oh boy!
If craft seltzer is what's getting you into the brewery,
absolutely.
Great. That's a fantastic thing. And then while you're there, let's talk about something else.
Point.
It's a good high end. Crafting thing for a lot of restaurants and bars that are not looking to draw in a very specific type of person. Yeah. Commercially, you see the type of people that are drinking these things on, the internet. You see memes, et cetera, et cetera. There are grand T-shirts that are quite hilarious. But there are a lot of higher-end bars and restaurants that don't sort of want that hullabaloo, if you will. So they really enjoy having Gem available on their tap line, because we do keg it and and/or in cans, so we can for their patios and things like that. You see people pouring out this crystal clear rosé colored seltzer, and everyone wants to know what it is. Yeah.
Kind of looks like champagne a little bit.
Yeah.
Makes you feel a little fancy if you want to be fancy.
Now, let me offer you a complex question. But since you're not drinking an alcoholic beverage, it'll be very easy.
All right, it'll be very easy.
Okay. Forgotten Boardwalk is becoming well known and highly respected
Yes.
in the area. You go out on the road, you're putting on X number of miles, okay? Does it make it easier for you to sell product as people know the company, or is the competition so darn heavy that it's tougher to get tap space or little combination of both?
Look at you with the hard questions.
I was a teacher for 41 years.
Listen. We've got a very educated consumer base, a very educated audience here.
I
We
can't
need
wait
to
for you
know.
guys to hear this answer. No, really, it's actually quite easy. As long as you have the rapport, built up with whoever it is you're talking to, and just chatting with them candidly. Every territory is going to be different. Some people want to know the names of your dogs and your children, and they want to sit with you for 3 hours, and then other people immediately
You know what? That's valid. I'm laughing, but you made sense there.
Yeah, but some people know what Forgotten Boardwalk is doing. Our New England IPA. Everyone was waiting for one. We finally put one out at the end of last year.
Okay.
It's called Tower 4. We have Pocket Trick is in the tanks right now. That's our Imperial IPA in the tall red can. Everyone gets very giddy about that. But we also have a Saison in the works. We have an Oyster Goza in the works for this year.
You got my
Oysters
attention.
plus Goza. I'm there.
Yeah.
You're in the Gozas now, right?
Well,
starting slowly too.
No. I was head first into Gozas because it
Nice.
speaks to my life. My gateway beer was fruited wheats, and I feel that Gozas are kind of, a sister to that because they tend to be fruitier.
Right,
they tend to have that more, wine adjacent in that. Again, it's a lighter. I love Gozas, and I always have.
So this kind of applies to both you people because you're both out meeting the public
Yes,
and meeting
constantly.
people who, in a sense, have a position of power in terms of they're going to buy your product.
Right.
So you have a service.
I mean,
to
I
sell,
would
you
say
a
we have
product
the
to
power,
sell.
but yes.
Right. But establishing a rapport
Strongest
with these
woman.
people
Yes.
is critical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, very, very
And so you're
important.
right. I laughed, but someone may come up to you and say, "How's your dog?"
Yeah.
And they want to talk to you,
You need to have an answer.
for 15 minutes.
Like, I have no dog.
Sure. Right.
You know?
Exactly.
But for the
Right.
dog person, you have a Cocker Spaniel.
I
you
have a
can do
Cocker
that.
Spaniel.
So cute. Named Lady.
I'm an English Mastiff person myself. But yeah, no, the rapport building is very, very important. And you're always going to encounter somebody that, for some reason, doesn't read up on the craft that they're hired into. So you're always going to run into somebody that doesn't know who Cape May is. They don't know who Forgotten Boardwalk or Carton is, even though we've been around for a very, 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 very long time.
Right.
So
Well,
This
again, this is
industry,
it's a young market here in New Jersey.
That's true.
It really is. So much of my job, and I know so much of my members' job, is educating the public, on what it is to drink a craft beer. We're in, it's funny, while you see craft beer being part of the normal consciousness of the rest of the country, it's so new to New Jersey. It's a fun time to be in this industry in this state.
It is.
Because you get
is.
to introduce people to it.
Yeah, my
It's
parents
like-
are very much enjoying the fact that I work in the beer industry.
right. Well, again, Gary and I were talking last week about my stepfather who drinks Coors Light by putting ice in it. As he drinks it down, he replaces the liquid with ice, and then that was kind of a challenge for him. So
Very
now,
exciting.
but what's so funny is he loves Coors Light, and then he loves Tower Number 4.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's. But again, he would never in a million years, if I wasn't in this job, go into a craft brewery at all, but let alone order an IPA. But we gave him a flight.
Yeah.
We try it out, Bob. Give it a go. Tower Number 4 is what spoke to him, incomprehensibly to me. But let's do it. I mean, only because of his proclivities. Tower Number 4 is an excellent beer that I suggest to anybody.
Yeah,
Which is why I ended up in
it's
his
very
flight.
good for people with very specific palates. Well, it was great for my dad. I was working at Forgotten Boardwalk. I was like, hey, you should. I had just started, right? And I was a little apprehensive to let them know a couple summers ago that I was working for a brewery because it's weird.
Sure.
It's not the career that they thought I would go down. So I brought them a couple of beers. But the fun thing is talking about every different beer and what it could be most in tune with what those people drink normally.
That's
so
good.
some people that might love espresso coffee martini would probably really much enjoy the Yingling Hershey porter that
Right.
I just had.
Which
You know
was
what I mean?
delicious.
Which was very delicious. Everyone is going to have a very specific palate. So it's been a very cool experience for me, learning more about each beer, how they're made, and being able to tune that into beer education while I'm on the road.
Were you a beer drinker prior to getting into this?
I was, yes. I don't think I knew what I was doing. Because now
No
that
one
now
does.
that, right, but the extent of my knowledge now is insane compared to what I was, because I was still drinking craft beer and going out to breweries, but I didn't know what I was drinking, and I was a little more embarrassed to ask more, from the tenders what the beer was or what a hop is or.
Well, and let's talk
what
about
I mean?
that, because I think a lot of people don't want to ask those questions, but now being in the industry, and I know too, they want to answer that question. If you have a question, there is no dumb question at all.
No,
And if
everyone should ask everything.
ask everything,
Good
because
point.
the people who are working in craft beer, love the industry, love the product that they're selling, to you, and want to tell you everything about it. Sometimes you're going to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did not mean to ask that question because now I know way too much."
They get very excited.
They get very excited, and that's amazing. There's so much enthusiasm. So never don't ask a question, because
More information is better.
more
than none.
information is
Right
better,
on.
and not a single person is going to say, "Oh, I don't want to answer that." No, people want to talk to you. People want to be like, "Oh, I don't drink craft beer." Cool.
They
cool,
also
cool.
want to make sure
Cool,
you're
cool,
drinking the
cool.
right thing.
Right. What do you drink? All the time. Beer tenders, brewers, anyone in the industry
Yeah,
loves that challenge. Oh, you don't drink beer? Cool. What do you drink?
I love that. That's my favorite thing.
Right, because a good beer tender, which you will find anywhere in this industry, will absolutely say, based on what you're telling me, I have a beer for you.
Yeah.
And if
I believe it.
right, and if I don't happen to have that beer for you on tap here right now, every single person is going to refer
Chances
you
are
to a
they'll
place
say-
that does.
yeah, they'll have
Correct.
a suggestion for
Yeah,
you.
this is an
Totally
industry
believe it.
that loves, as much as they love pouring a beer for you, they equally love sending you to somewhere else who's going to pour you a beer that you're
So
going to
true.
enjoy too.
And
So-
I like you, I get that all the time.
Yeah.
I love when the person comes up to me and says, "I don't like craft beer."
It's my
That's
favorite.
my
It's
challenge,
my favorite.
and I will find one for you.
right.
I
have a-
drink wine and then I say, "Oh, we have a gem seltzer on tap."
Right. I love the phrase, I have a beer for you.
Yes.
You're going to
That's what I
always
didn't
hear, I have a beer for you.
That's why I didn't mention the name of the. I'm
Gem, yes.
promoting
Gem.
the seltzer, and I'm not even mentioning the name of it, because people
Yeah.
have to ask
Gem.
for it. What's it called?
Gem.
Gem. That's a
It's J
little play on
apostrophe
words there.
AIME. Yes, a lot of people come up and they ask for the Jamie,
Jamie.
which
If it,
we
sell,
find
if
out.
it sells the seltzer, it's okay.
Yeah, we find brilliant. We have T-shirts that say "Gem" on it, and we have
And
a
now
lot of
what
people
does
that come
gem
in and buy
mean?
them. It is French for "I love."
See?
So you should drink it doing something that you love, whether that's drinking
On
or
that note.
going out in the wild.
Oh.
Yeah, going on your kayak. We had a couple friends that went kayaking with them. I'll try to take that out when I go hiking or kayaking or to the beach, and drink it doing something that you love with maybe
With
somebody
people
that
you
you appreciate it or love.
Right.
Depends on what date you're on.
Listen, there's all sorts of loves. Anyway, yes. On that note.
All the love.
On that note, we should probably do a wrap here. But Laurel A. Baker, we thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming here
No, I
and
appreciate it. I
representing
love being
Forgotten
here.
Boardwalk. And I am so impressed with this beer.
great.
I mean, it's really well made. When I heard Belgian triple, as much as I love Belgians, okay, I said, well, this is a high standard. This needs to be something that I'm going to really appreciate.
All of the
And you
brewers
did it.
that day did
You
a
guys
very,
did
very
it.
wonderful job.
You
Yeah.
guys, you ladies, you wonderful ladies,
Ladies,
did it.
100 ladies.
The women
Listen,
of the world.
Women.
Yes.
I put in a bag of
Fantastic. I
grain.
love them.
So.
I love them. And I was so happy my
brewed
daughter
this beer.
Kristen was there as well.
She was. Yeah, we
Yeah,
were
we're
very
so
happy to have her.
And we're
I was so
happy.
excited to see her.
Thank
yes.
you for inviting me.
Oh, no, of
Appreciate
course.
that. But, you guys
Yeah,
are
thank
doing
you, Gary.
a great job. Love it. Send my love to everyone over at the
I will.
company.
Yes, I will.
Send
All right.
us Gem.
Thank you, my dear, for being with us. It's always
Anytime,
a pleasure
Gary,
to see you.
anytime.
Or how about we do it tomorrow night? Then?
Sounds great.
Okay.
See you guys tomorrow night.
We will see you next time on What's on Tap.